Welcome to Papa Junk Shop. Now I took the little diesel back up and tucked it away, and this one was sitting right next to it. So this is going to be our next project. It's a Lauson PAM 826. And I tried doing some research on the internet, and I come up with nothing that matches it. And I didn't even find any pictures that was going to help me out. Looks like we're missing some shrouding here, possibly. Not sure. Going to try doing some more research, but let's take a quick gander at it. Looks like we got a fin about ready to break off right there. Yep. Okay. So it does turn, and it's got a base on it that sticks down below the mounting holes. So somebody's made a base for it previous to me having it. Part of the muffler's missing. The carburetor is a Tilson, and butterfly nose, choke moves part way. This wire's wired up on it. No end on the spark plug wire. Let's see, there's no spark plug, but you turn it over, there's no compression. So either we got a stuck valve or something. Now, the carburetor is crooked on there. Now I have another small Lauson that was made to set at an angle, and I'm wondering if this one wasn't made the same way. It would have to set about like that for that carburetor to set level. So this might have been used on something where the engine didn't set level. Have to look into that a little more. The shroud's all there. It's got a few dings in it. So this is probably similar to the other little Lauson I did. It probably has an oil pump, so we're probably going to pull this base off and make sure everything's clear there. Oil pump's functioning. So I guess the first order of business is get this head off, see what we got going on in there. Make sure the piston's going up and down, and check out those valves. So I'll go get some tools and we'll get started. Well, I'm off to a good start. There's 7 head nuts, and not one of them wants to cooperate. They're pretty rusty, and I don't want to break them off. So I think it is getting near dinner time, so I think I'm going to put some penetrating oil on them and leave them for another day. See you in a bit. I guess I fibbed a little. Supper's going to be a little late, so I come back out. I warmed them up with a propane torch a little bit and squirted some WD on them, and I got them all cracked loose with the ratchet, so we'll see if we can get them off of there. Got the stud out of that one. gasket if we can. Washer. Not easy to get off of there. I think that's what's holding me up. Okay. And those washers. Okay, we got a little bug infestation because there wasn't any spark plug in it, but and looks like the exhaust valve is the culprit. Cylinder looks nice. Let me grab a screwdriver. Let's give it just a little squirt. Being kind of stubborn. Pour some real oil. Yeah, we'll let her set a little bit more. We'll dig into some more stuff. I'm not sure which direction I want to go. Maybe I'll see about getting that carb off there. I'm sure we're going to have to go through that. And then we'll get the base off, take a look at the oil pump. Okay, got one stud out and one nut off of the carb. Alright, it's got a good grip on her there. Everything on this part is being miserable. Surely don't want to break yet. Maybe I'll work on getting this part off. And I just now noticed too, there's no governor on this at all. Let's see. Well, I won't know for sure, but I don't see any evidence of an air vane governor, and there's no mechanical governor. Usually these had nice governors on them, so I don't know. We'll know when I get into underneath the shroud. Okay, we got another day going here. See if we can get this shroud off. I think I'll take it off, the flywheel off, before I take this off the base. It'll make it a little lighter. got one missing down there. A little bit of debris in there. Looks like we're good with the pins. Now, I was trying to find a socket to fit on that nut in there, but it's so tight in there I can't find anything that'll fit. And it's off center. It's like the casting wasn't straight or something. I don't know how they got that nut on there. Unless they had one of them like sheet metal sockets or something. But there's 3 bolts here holding this casting in place. I'm going to try taking them off and seeing if I can get this to move a little. If not, I'm going to have to get in there with a Dremel or something to get some clearance. Because right where they cast it, it's kind of a rough spot. So I guess you guys aren't going to want to watch me do that. So when I get that off, I'll show you what we got under there. Okay, not what I expected. I thought there was a flat on here and the nut was helping hold this on. So once I popped that off, we got easy access to that. So I got the puller and everything ready. I'm going to go ahead and get that nut off and pull the flywheel off. Now the flywheel come off without much resistance. So we'll clean it up in there, clean the points, we'll check this capacitor. And, next we'll pull the base off and get a look at that oil pump. Pretty sure this has got one. You know, I drained the oil out. This bugger holds a lot of oil. And I've noticed a lot of these engines that have been sitting a long time and have decent oil in them. And they got kind of a greenish cast to the old-time oil. I don't know why that is. That dark stuff you see in there, there was a little bit of oil from something else in this pan. But the oil looks nice that was in it, so that's a good sign. Got the bolts out, let's see what we got. Hopefully without running the gasket. Maybe. This side cracked loose. Well, see what happens when we do this. Well, I can see it's broke loose. Well, I thought you guys were going to get to see me pull that off of there, but I guess not. When I get it off, I'll show you. Okay, she finally came off. Just a good tight fit, I guess. There is an oil pump. There's quite a bit of crap on that screen. Let's see if I can get you a little closer. There you can see the crap that's on there. Well, it's gooey stuff. That's why I wanted to pull it apart and make sure. But what we got is sort of like the other little one I did. Let's see. There's the oil pump. And then there's the tray that it pumps the oil up to, and then the rod dips. And that looks like it runs off of the cam. And I think it's a plunger type, so we'll pull these 2 bolts out of there, and we'll pull that out of there and clean it all up. But the rest of it all looks really nice in there. And I don't see, let me get my flashlight. There's one here someplace. There. And I don't see a governor at all. And I didn't see any traces of an air vane governor, so kind of unusual. So we'll get that oil pump pulled off there and clean her up. Okay, this is what she looks like. There's the plunger that goes up and down. So we'll get that, well, I'll tell you what. Let me get that pan of oil and we'll try it in the try it in this oil before I clean it up. Let's see. I don't know. I'm not very good at this photography stuff. Oh yeah. Looks nice. Looks like I can pull that screen right off of there. There's probably a spring and a check ball and stuff in there. Get her cleaned up and I'll pull that apart. Get her. Okay, so the spring and the ball must be up in this part. So I'm going to leave that right alone. I'm just going to clean this part with the screen in it up, and we'll put her back together. Well, I know this has nothing to do with the project, but I was outside cleaning up this oil sump, and it is windy out today. Yeah, of course, when I come in here, the wind slows down. Never fails. We got sun and we got wind today. Still don't have any water to speak of. Yep, never fails. Slowed down now. Oh well, I looked in here once and I was making 20-some amps, which is pretty good. Okay, got this surface all cleaned up, got the oil pump all cleaned up, mounted back in, got the sump all cleaned up, and I'm thinking that this is added on to this particular engine. I think this plug normally would have went right in there, but I think because this didn't set level, that they made the oil level a little deeper. It's just a guess, don't know for sure. If somebody is familiar with these and would know, I'd like to know if that's the case and what this engine might have been used on originally. It'd be interesting to know. So, and I got a new gasket made, so I'm going to get this back on there so we don't get any contamination in there while I'm working on the rest of it. Now, while you guys weren't looking, I got this old, what's left of the muffler. I'm going to try to make a new front for this and save it. Of course, it didn't cooperate. This was I had to saw the elbow off, and then this was the pieces that I dug out of the block. I took my reciprocating saw and cut a couple grooves in there, and then one of these kind of punches, and worked my way in carefully. And it was the same thing with this end. You can see it it didn't cooperate. So anyways, that's over and done with. Got the head cleaned up, got the block cleaned up. Next I think I'm going to work on getting some spark. And then we'll take a look at the breather, and then I think we can start some reassembly. Got the points cleaned up, and I pulled the wires off, the kill wire, the wire to the points, and the wire up to the coil off of the capacitor so that we can give it a check. So 2, 3. Now I charge it. 1, 2, 3. Push that and it should jump, and it's not. So we're going to be looking for a replacement. She's not coming around. Okay, so this is one of them with a screw in the end. I think I've got some, but I don't know if it's got the right kind of mount on it, but we'll come up with something. Okay, this is a Wyco mag, and this says Wyco on it. It's not exactly the same, but it does have a mounting screw. This one has 2, but it has a place for a tab here, and it has a wiper here which we won't need, so I'll clip that off, and it does have the screw thing, so it'll go in there like so. But I got it on the tester, and I can charge it and we get a good jump. 1, 2, 3. So that's a good one. It's new, it's just been around for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and get that installed, get the wires hooked back up. We'll throw the flywheel on her and see if we get any spark. Okay, got the flywheel stuck on, just turning it by hand. Got good spark. Okay, got the head back on, got a spark plug in it. And any of you guys that watch my channel know what time it is. It's time to see if it's going to go. We're going to squirt a little juice in there. And give her a little. Oh, guess you gotta tighten that up, huh? Okay, she's gonna go. Yeah, I took that breather off, got it cleaned up, and it was pretty clean inside anyways. Everything checked out okay, so I got it back in place. There was no gasket, so I made a gasket for it. But I've been working on the carburetor for, I don't know, a couple hours probably. She didn't want to come apart very good, and I got it cleaned up best I can. I cannot get that emulsion tube out of there, but I can see through it, and it blows through nice, and I run it through the ultrasonic cleaner, so hopefully it's going to be okay. And somebody had attempted to fix this as the original gasket. As you can see, it was really messed up here, and they put some goop on it and tried to get it to quit leaking, but it's really distorted and a mess. I spent quite some time making a new one. It's a pretty complicated gasket compared to most of them, but it seems to fit all right. So gonna get that back together, and we'll get her on there, and maybe we can see if we can get it to run. Got the carb mounted, threw the shroud on just finger tight. Got temporary gas tank. Turned the gas on, and the gas seems to be staying in the carburetor, which kind of surprised me because I wasn't sure about this one. So, see what happens. Let's open a little more on the oil, maybe just a whisker more on the main jet. Yeah, I think I need to change the battery and my starter. Now my battery died that last clip, so I went ahead and threw the base back on it and put the rope starter on it, and I'll give her a whirl here. Didn't expect that. So, you know it runs. I'd like to find out some more information about it. If anybody knows or can point me to some pictures of it, it's a PAM 825. And I'd like to find out what kind of shrouding it's supposed to have, what the original gas tank looked like, an air cleaner, and maybe what it was used on. I don't know if you noticed before, but before I put this base on, the bottom of this oil sump is tapered. And when it was sitting on that, the carburetor was level. Now the carburetor is tipped. So whatever it was on, I'm thinking the engine was at an angle. So at this point, I think I'm going to just put it in storage and try to find some more out about it before I do anything more with it. So we'll call this one a video. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe, and Thanks for watching. See you next time.